We have a serious issue with the Honda Civic, and I can't believe it, just as we went to take it to MOT. Just as I thought everything was good, it's not. What's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the Honda Civic, and we have been faced with more problems. And if you couldn't tell, the front, not good. You can tell it's been turned around on the ramp because I actually went and started filming an MOT video, but we were faced with a very large problem. So let me explain. So you can see on the ramp, it's actually the other way around because this is just where it got abandoned afterwards. I went to move it, I'm lifting the clutch up, my pedal is rock solid, and would you believe it, I cannot move that front wheel. But if we come around to the back, one, you can see it's not worn too much, and two, you can see it actually spins. So that is not ideal. Come around to this other side, and again, okay, maybe that other side handbrake's on a bit too much. We can spin that one, but this one as well is rock solid. So my guess is that our caliper has seized. So if I bring you into here, last time we gave everything a nice clean up. These slider pins were definitely moving, but for some reason it's just failed. So we need to get a, I think that's a 12mm, another 12mm, lower 12mm, and let's get this caliper off and see. I remember it was kind of difficult pushing that caliper backwards, but truthfully I just sort of assumed that, I've had it before where calipers be a bit stiff pushing the piston back, but as soon as you've got in it and tried to, you know, pump the pedal a few times, it's sort of sprung straight back into life. But unfortunately that is not happened in this case, so let me go and get the tools to get this off. So guys, as you saw in that clip, I just got the caliper off and everything is free. I might need to just give the slider pin, give the carrier a bit of a further clean because those pads aren't the happiest in there since I put them in, but that's fine. But these are free, this is free. So I'm gonna push the pedal now and see if that comes out. So if you keep an eye on this caliper, I'll go push the pedal and we can see if that piston actually moves or not. So I actually just went under the car with my hand, I pushed that brake pedal, must have been like 4 or 5 times. So that pretty much confirms that that caliper is seized, which is weird because I did manage to push it back. Like the pads that come out of it, don't get me wrong, they weren't like massive and new, but they weren't like really old, sort of halfway. So it just surprised me that, and when I drove it last, before I started all the work, it seemed to have been braking fine. So I don't quite understand that, but I'll show you what we got. So how everything goes on this channel is just starting to really get annoying. I've got a new caliper, but you guessed it, it's wrong. So there's not a lot of difference, but there is enough. It doesn't even fit over the pads. So what I'm thinking is what I'm going to try and do is push the piston with the pedal out and then rebuild the caliper, cleaning up that piston. Without a doubt, I'm going to take the carrier back off and I'm going to give everything a good clean because that's definitely not helping. Them pads should be free. Like this outer one is free, but this inner one is not free whatsoever. I will show you what I mean. So there, you can see, nice and free. Obviously I've pulled that out now, but it's still free. This one, I can't even move it, which is weird because when I put it in there, it was just like that bottom one. It went in fine. So here we are back again. I have taken the carrier off. You can see that's nice and free, and that is now nice and free, whereas before it was not. So begs the question of, is this actually seized, or have I just jumped the gun? I've ordered a caliper and I've not needed to. Like I said, it was completely fine before, and now it's not. So I'm going to put that back on, because these are free. Slider pins are free. That one's free. That one's free. And when they do what they are intended. So I'm going to put that back together and we're going to see what happens. So here guys, you can see me putting the caliper back on. Piston isn't far enough back, so obviously we push the pedal, it come out a little bit. So I've tried pushing it back with your hands. Usually with your two thumbs you can push this back. So I've got this tool out, it's called a caliper wind back tool. It does exactly what it says. You do that and it puts pressure on the piston, putting it back. You can see I'm having a bit of a hard time here pushing it back, and it's really tough. To the point where I'm thinking, right, I'm gonna crack the bleed screw off and try relieve a little bit of pressure, which you shouldn't need to do, because the top of the brake fluid cap is off anyway. So this should just push back pretty easily, and you can see that I really am struggling here. So that basically confirmed it to me. I had that wind back tool in there and I was really trying to crank that round, and then I went and got a 10mm spanner and cracked off the bleed screw, because in theory that would make it easier. The cap for the brake fluid reservoir is off anyway, so you know what I mean, it just says that that caliper is seized solid. Again, I don't quite get how, because I drove it back and I've driven it before doing everything, so I don't know how that's suddenly just gone all seized up. But we do need two new calipers, and the ones that we got are wrong. So you could argue, yes, I could rebuild it. Yes, you are correct, I could rebuild it, you are right. But is it easier just putting a new set on? I don't know. I mean, now that I've got to order another set, I may get a rebuild kit compared to a new caliper, but we'll just have to see what happens. But for now, I'm going to figure that out, and then I'll pick you back up when we're doing some work. So I have been trying to figure out a way that we can solve this issue, and as you can see, it's stuck out. So I was pumping and pumping the brakes, and here is the issue. You can see all that rust. So if we can get all that rust out of there, we can potentially get away with reusing this caliper. We just need to give everything a nice clean up. So here you can see that caliper, and this is why it was seized in place. Look at all that rust in there. Let's break this down and have a look. So as you can see, we have the three pieces. We have our seal, we have our piston, and then we have our caliper. We need to clean all of this up the best we can. Don't know if it's going to be savable, but we are going to try, because there is a seal in there which I think is going to be done for. So here you can see me going around just a bit of a wire brush on my drill, just trying to clear out everything that's got rust on the surface where all of the seals go. But then you'll see in a minute that I discover that I start on the piston, and the piston is just unrecoverable. But we have tried our best to use what we've got, but unfortunately it has not played out. You can see there. So we are never ever going to be able to reuse what we've got there. The caliper itself, yes, maybe, but that piston, you saw that spotted line of just pure deterioration, and it's just rough, and I'm never going to be able to reuse it. So I would need at bare minimum a rebuild kit. So I'm going to have a think whether I'm going to order some calipers or some rebuild kits. Caliper, it all depends on the price. Calipers are easy, straight on, done and gone. if we get a rebuild kit, then you can learn with me how to rebuild your caliper. But for now, I'm gonna have a think, and you will find out what we do next. So I actually lost a bit of the footage where I was getting the piston and that seal in, but you can see that I've rebuilt this caliper. The inner seal's been done, that boot's tucked round. After this video I have to tuck a little bit more in when I was reviewing the footage. You can see at the back it's slightly out, but it's quite easy. Just tuck it in and you carefully push the piston down so you don't tear the new boot. But that is that caliper rebuilt. So this video will be jumping back and forwards in time a little bit. I ordered calipers, wrong ones come, which I'm pretty sure is where we just ended off. So I ordered rebuild kits and it come, but I'm pretty sure the first rebuild kit I ordered sent the wrong size piston, so I had to send that one back and then get another one again. So second rebuild kit time lucky. But we just rebuilt one, let's get it on the car, rinse and repeat for the other side, and then hopefully we can take it for MOT. So as you can see, for the second time now, we're now putting the caliper back on. Obviously just going over, putting the bolts in for the slider pins, making sure they're tight enough. We didn't do it with the gun, we just did it with our hand tools, tightening up. Especially bits like this, I tend not to tighten up with guns, I tend to use the hand tools. Now we're putting the banjo bolt back in, remembering to put in 2 new copper seals or copper rings either side of the bolt so we don't have any leaking brake fluid. And finally just getting that retaining sort of clip at the top, which just keeps the brake hose out of the way when you're turning left and right, and it just makes everything look neat and tidy. And then that is this side ready to go. So as you can see here, it's a nice fully rebuilt. These spin nice and well, everything is great. That's back in, new pads. All we got to do now is bleed the brakes. If you don't know what bleeding the brakes is, you get your mate to stamp on the pedal while it's down. You open this bleed screw, a bit of fluid comes out, you close it like that, obviously with your spanner, and then again rinse and repeat, pushes it down until all the air bubbles leave the system. Air in your brakes is what will give you a very spongy pedal, and that is not what you want. So that is basically how you do your calipers on your car. Again, apologies if it's a bit choppy. Just I've had no non-stop problems with ordering parts for this car, and it's a pain, but it is what it is, and we are working our way through it. So hopefully next will be us taking this for its MOT. So I'm pretty sure the only other thing that we need to do for this car is the exhaust. So we got a bit of a leak, so I'm going to go around and tighten up all the connections on the car, obviously where the car exhaust connects to another bit of exhaust, tighten them all up to see if I can get away with not having to renew the gaskets. If I need to renew the gaskets, I need to renew the gaskets, and I need to weld one small hole on the exhaust, which is quite literally like the size of this torch, which is tiny, and then let's see if that will solve the issue. Let me show you the exhaust now. So here's the exhaust, and that is the hole in question. Literally that's my thumb next to it, it's so small. And then all around here doesn't look to be any holes. But I'm just going to tighten all of these up, see if that solves our exhaust leak. I think that's the cat. Yeah, it must be the cat around the centre in there. So let's do that, and then see if that can save us a couple of quid on gaskets. It's missing a hanger, but it's pretty solid. Is it missing a hanger, or is there only supposed to be one? Because that's quite obviously welded on there, and then this side there's just nothing. So it's either fallen off, or on this specific car they only put one on for some reason. I've got my welding mask out. Let me show you what I've cleaned up on this exhaust, and then let's give it a go. I'm just patching it up. There's a hole, there doesn't need to be a hole. If we can just tack it until there's no hole, then we're laughing really. Just got to turn the gas on the welder. Let me show you this hole. So here guys, you can see me trying to weld a hole up, and as I've always said before, I'm not a welder. I just sort of seeing what I see on the internet. I'm just giving it a go. But we got a hole in the exhaust and we don't want one there. And I've got a welder in the corner, so I thought, why not try and sort it out? If it can save us anywhere up to 100, 150 quid on the exhaust, then we are winning. So you can see it's spattering. I don't know if that's my fault, or if I've not set the machine up properly, or if I'm doing something wrong. I'm not sure whatsoever. But, you know, there's some spatter. Some bits go down my sleeve. You see me jumping about from time to time where the hot bits keep landing on my arms and stuff. But you will soon see the result. Rolling on into this next clip, I lost all the audio for this. It was just so bitty and horrible, so I thought I'd voice over it. There's me complaining I've got weld down my arm, and then we go underneath to have a look at what I have done. So you can see here, when I flip around the camera, we have just got one big blob of weld that we do need to clear up, because it just doesn't look that great, but ultimately not a bad job. So lots of voiceovers on this because my camera has done a madness, but we have a blow from the exhaust right there. I did not even see that was split there. So you guessed it, we're going to try our best to try and weld this up, and then if it doesn't work, we can just simply get a new silencer for the exhaust. It is no problem. So while I'm cleaning up this next area, if you wouldn't mind just dropping a sub on the channel. 78.6% of people aren't subscribed, and it really helps push the channel even further and more people to see these videos of me just messing around with cars and having a bit of fun. If you just hit that subscribe button, like the video and leave a comment, I would really appreciate it, and I hope you are enjoying the video and the series I've got going on. As time goes on, I do want to be getting through these cars faster and faster. But just for the first one, I've taken my time a little bit, but going forward, these cars and videos will be coming out a lot more frequently and getting the ball rolling even faster. Right, before you all judge me, I just want you to remember, the goal was to make the exhaust leak go away, and I'm pretty sure there's not a hole there anymore. I can see there's some gaps down the bottom like here, but I wouldn't say there's a hole. Only way I'm going to find out is by starting it, so I'm going to need to move all the welding gear out and go again, but I might just fill a couple of those holes first. So that is it. You see me lowering the Civic down. There's still a small blow on the exhaust, but I'm just going to risk it, see what happens. If it fails on emissions, I'll just buy a new exhaust for it, it's fine. So all we've got to do now, wheels on, number plate lights, because we've got 2 number plate lights out, and then we can take it for MOT. Excuse the wind, it's very windy. That is our Honda Civic ready for MOT. I'm going to take it down to MOT now, so next time, on next video, you will see if it's passed, failed, or if we need to do any more work to it. If you've enjoyed this episode, please drop me a like and comment on the video what you want to see next, because this car is very nearly ready to go. So what sort of car do you reckon will be a good step in the road to a GTR? And I will catch you guys on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.